Welcome to the Paper Snob. This is Tara. Today I'm working on 52 favorite everyday photos. I think I always say that title to this hop incorrectly, but it's supposed to be weekly and we're supposed to do an everyday photo. I have been guilty of doing more than one photo each week because if I only do one photo for all of the photos that I have to scrapbook, I will be never done. And while I am enjoying watching my children grow up again through all of the beautiful photos that I have of them, I still would like to have some completed albums sometime. And so I chose these photos. This is of she's now my middle child. At this point in time, we didn't realize that we were going to have two more. And so she was the baby. This is Courtney. She is 28 years old now. This photo was taken in 1998, and she is holding her brother's Pooh Bear. He talks, and I actually still have him. He is sitting here in my scrapbook room. He's sitting on top of one of my calyxes where I keep my thickers, and he still works. If you hug him, he will tell you a short story. If you lay him down, he snores and says, "Go to sleep now." If you just hug him once and walk away, he actually will say, "Hug my tummy and I will tell you a story." And he's got like several little one-line stories that he tells. He was a very beloved Pooh Bear of our oldest son. And I guess Courtney was playing with him that day. So I bought the Simple Stories Say Cheese Classic Pooh collection after saying that I wasn't going to buy it because I bought the Echo Park one, which came out first. Echo Park paper is gorgeous. Not super fan of their embellishments. They're way too wordy and there's never enough icon choices in my opinion. So I tend to shy away from Echo Park collections because of that. But I bought the Pooh one because I knew that I had tons of photos of our oldest son with his bear, and I knew that it was a story that I wanted to tell. I also believe we did a Pooh Bear first birthday for Tyler, so those photos will also work well with this collection. But this is the Simple Story Say Cheese. It is a little bit more girly, and what's funny is it matches what my daughter's wearing perfectly. And I pulled out the tags, which I will probably use one for journaling. The other side is other tags, and what I usually do with the tag sheets is I just cut them apart and put them inside with the collection. This is the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. It's got a lot of icons, and it does have a lot of words as well, but it does have a lot of icons. I pulled this 4x6 piece of paper because I also thought I might actually use that for journaling. We'll see what I come up with. And then I've got two pieces of patterned paper. And so photos, all of the embellishments that I have. I've got the foam thickers, I've got the chipboard, I've got the floral bits, which I think I need to get another pack of. And I've got the page pieces, and these are more like what Echo Park puts in their collections, and there are a lot of wordy bits, but there's also a lot of blank journaling pieces in here, which I adore. So, and that is what I have, and that's what I'm going to work with. So I'm going to pause, we're going to get started, and I'll be right back. All right, this goes together super fast. I was surprised at how fast it went together. I'm kind of sorting things around right now. I'm going to cut some branding strips off these papers. I'm going to use the green one for my background. I don't save Simple Stories branding strips because there's only a pattern on part of it, and I just don't save them. So I'm going to use this piece here. I'm going to cut, I believe, a 10 by 10 square with it, and I'll set the other pieces aside for another layout. Be great for layering pieces or even photo mats or even journaling, because the back of this is a notebook ledger. Using my corner rounder to go ahead and corner round those corners. And I go ahead and I cut the branding strip off this, and I cut out the two, or the one, it ends up being two of course, but the one 4x6 Project Life card. And I'm not going to end up using it at all, but I do use the other side, the larger piece that's left over here, and I'm going to cut some mats for my photos. These photos I believe are 3x5. I'm kind of guessing about how long I want them to be, and instead of messing it up completely, I only cut it to like 3 1/4, and then I'm just going to trim the rest off. And again, I'll have some extra little scraps for layering or something for another layout. Maybe I'll cut hearts with it or something. I do save most of the pieces in a collection until I am virtually finished with that collection. So here I have, that is going to get kind of centered. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take this, it's the leftovers from my foam dots, and I'm going to use that to pop up my photos on this layout. I pulled out the smaller ones too because I thought I might need more, but I decided that I would just cut this in half, and that gives me room to tuck. If I would have put that on one of the photos, it would have completely covered the back, and that's not quite what I wanted. I wanted it to be popped up, but I wanted room to tuck things under, and so this is just me leaving the space underneath so that I can tuck things. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of put these photos sort of in the middle. They're going to be tilted out, and then I'm going to go ahead and pop out some of this chipboard. I know I'm going to use the poo with the balloon on here, and you know what? That may be the only piece of chipboard I actually grab. I think the rest of the embellishments, yeah, I look at that and I'm like, no, it's too big. I don't want to put that up there. The rest of the embellishments are going to be floral bits. So I'm taking the foam stickers out of the packaging as well, because that's where my title is going to come from. It says "Time for Something Sweet," and she was just the sweetest little thing. Now with that title, I will have to stick some foam adhesive underneath the bottom edges to pop it up, because my photos are popped up, and so it makes them not level. This is the piece I decide to use for journaling in place of that cut apart. And now I'm just going to begin layering up some of these different flowers and pieces. I do believe I move that flower that I just laid down under the balloon away and put a different set of flowers when I go to glue things down, because I was afraid, I thought it was covering up too much stuff. And so I'm not going to put a whole lot of flowers on here, just a few. Like I said, this layout ends up being super simple, which is good once in a while to have a nice, super simple layout. Putting 2 small flowers, and I think I'm pretty happy with the way it looks right now. All right, I got this layout completely finished. This was a really simple layout, which I love. You can't have a lot of fussy layouts every single time, because then I will never get my albums complete. So I'm pretty happy that this was simple, but still very pretty. I felt like this paper matched my daughter's dress perfectly, and that made me super happy. I also, off camera, I went ahead and I added a phrase from that 12x12 sticker sheet. Felt like the little things in life was perfect. The title is perfect for her. And did pop things up with foam adhesive. You saw me put it on the back of my photos. And here and here, I did swap out this floral piece because the other one just was a little too big and it was going too far off of my background paper. And I chose the green just because I felt like it looked really great with the purple paper. And my daughter's eyes are a hazel green. When she was little, they were more green than they are now. I think she kind of flops back and forth between a a light brown and a green at this point, but at this time in her life, her eyes were mostly green. I want to thank you for coming to my channel today. I really appreciate those of you who take the time to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new here, I would love to have you subscribe to my channel. If you have any comments or questions about this layout, drop those below and I'll get back to you. I do interact with my subscribers. I do try to get back with every single comment that is left on my videos. So if I haven't gotten back to you, just give me a couple of days and I'll get right back to you. I usually try to do it within 24 hours, but sometimes over the weekends I will wait until Monday or late Sunday night to do it. But I promise I will get back to you, especially if you have a question. Thank you again for being here. Check out that description box below for the playlist for this hop. This has been a fun one. I love that Miranda is pushing us to do our everyday photos, because sometimes we just want to scrap the special moments, but sometimes those everyday moments are a lot more special than we realize, and it is important to tell all the stories in your family, even everyday stories. So I hope that you enjoy this hop. Check everybody else's videos out. It's one playlist for the entire year, so there's going to be a lot of fun stuff for you to watch and be inspired by. You have a great rest of your day. Bye.